When I woke up after the car accident, a cold, noble-looking man said to me, "I'll give you 10 million, as long as you agree to one condition." My eyes instantly lit up. "What condition?" He said. "Break off the engagement with me and publicly claim that you fell in love with someone else." I blurted out, "Okay, you agreed? Didn't you say you would marry no one but me in this life?" "Huh, did I say that?" "But mister, you are clearly not my type." He did not know that I had lost my memory. At this moment, my memories had stopped at 18, and I had no idea who he was. But why did he look so shattered? Chapter 01. Miss Lisa, during the car accident, your head suffered a severe impact. The intracranial blood clot is compressing the surrounding nerves, and there is a high chance that you may experience memory loss. You can try recalling things now. How much can you remember? I stared blankly at the doctor in front of me and murmured, "My name is Lisa?" Several doctors looked at one another and shook their heads in tacit understanding. "Can we contact her family?" "They've already been notified. They said he is her fiancé and will arrive shortly." My heart skipped a beat. Fiancé? I had a fiancé? When did I start dating? I was already about to get married? Who was he? Was he handsome? At that moment, my phone suddenly rang. When I opened WhatsApp, I saw someone saved as Baby Amelia messaging me. Damn, this is truly insane. Girl, that woman Selena is really something else. She actually made an official post. An official post. She announced her relationship with someone else's husband, saying they were the true love. And on the day of someone else's wedding, I'm honestly screaming 999, because this is just too damn wild. I was completely confused. Who was Selena? What wedding? Whose wedding? Seeing that I did not reply, she continued sending messages. Where are you? Don't do anything stupid. It's really not worth it for that cheap pair. We need to broaden our horizons. There are plenty of men. Later, I'll find you a few male models. Even if the sky falls, I'll still be here. At worst, I'll support you for the rest of your life. It's not like we're short on money anyway. Judging by her tone, I probably had a pretty good relationship with her. Slowly, I replied with 4 words. I'm at the hospital. About half an hour later, Amelia appeared in front of me. You really don't remember anything? She looked at me with suspicion all over her face, then let out a sigh of relief. It's better that you don't remember. That way, you won't have to be sad over that bastard Eric. Next, she told me everything that had happened over the past few years. The key scene she reconstructed for me was how my fiancé, Eric, abandoned me at the wedding venue and ran off with his mistress, Selena. When I saw the video from the scene, I immediately sucked in a breath. I was so beautiful. I was this beautiful. And he still did not cherish me. He was either blind or stupid. Why would I still be attached to a man who was either blind or stupid? Chapter 02. In the wedding video, the girl named Selena appeared at the wedding venue wearing the same wedding dress as me. She walked straight to the center of the stage, looked into my eyes, and said word by word, "I am the one who loves him the most. I am the one most qualified to marry him. You're only relying on the fact that you've been with him longer. Do you think you can beat me? His heart has been with me from beginning to end." As soon as she said this, the crowd instantly became restless. According to Amelia, although the wedding was not large in scale, all the guests were relatives and friends close to both families. They had watched Eric and me go from school uniforms to wedding attire, and they knew all the hardships and difficulties we had gone through together. Therefore, Selena's appearance stunned everyone. At that time, before I could even react, Eric pulled her aside and sternly warned her to stop making trouble. He even said, "She and I will only be husband and wife in form, apart from marriage. I can give you everything. Isn't that enough?" Clearly, it was not enough. Because she was determined to make a scene, the next second, she took out a fruit knife, placed it against her wrist, and forced him to answer, word by word, "Eric, now you have 2 choices. Either finish the wedding with her and wait to collect my corpse, or leave with me right now and cut ties with her completely." As soon as she finished speaking, tears slipped down her face, making her look so pitiful. In an instant, the guests below burst into uproar. Is this woman mentally ill? Who let her in? Where is security? Where are the guards? Forget it. Call the police first. Don't let this really turn into a death. The groomsman looked at Eric, who stood frozen in place, and kindly reminded him. Don't just stand there. Deal with this quickly. There are so many relatives and friends watching. Exactly. Have you forgotten how you and Lisa made it this far? Don't lose your head at a time like this. This woman is clearly sick. Eric, I'm giving you one last chance. Selena's voice grew louder, carrying obvious cruelty. Put the knife down first. We can talk properly. There's nothing to talk about between me and her. Choose one. Although she was threatening him, her voice was clearly choked with tears. If I can't marry you, I'd rather die. Eric looked at me, his Adam's apple moving visibly. Then he said to me, Lisa, I'm sorry. I can't watch her do something stupid. You know too, her mental state is very unstable, and the doctor said she can't withstand any stimulation. As for the wedding, let's call it off for now. I'll make it up to you later. Right now, saving her matters most. After saying that, he took Selena's hand and walked toward the door. I instinctively chased after him, blocked him, and begged in a low voice. Don't go. She's doing this on purpose. She doesn't dare kill herself at all. This isn't the first time. Haven't we gotten through all these years like this? The way he looked at me clearly gained a few traces of disgust. Lisa, how did I never realize before that you were this vicious? I already promised to marry you. What else are you unsatisfied with? Selena is already like this. You really don't need to joke around with someone's life. In a daze, I saw the corner of Selena's mouth curve into a barely noticeable smile. It carried the unique provocation of a victor. I was provoked and made one last struggle. Eric, if you leave with her, then we break off the engagement. Everything from these 8 years no longer counts. I'll pretend I never knew you. Then let's break it off. Looking at his back as he left decisively, I finally lost all hope. So, in front of everyone, I took off my veil, threw down the bouquet, and announced that the wedding was cancelled. I would not marry him. Chapter 03. After watching the video, my brows furrowed so deeply they could have crushed a mosquito. So in other words, my fiancé Eric broke off the engagement with me because of the Selena? Amelia nodded. Yes, Selena is a female student he sponsored. The two of them have been ambiguous for years. You knew all of this, but you still endured it. Why? She rolled her eyes. Why else? Because you loved him. You treated marrying him as your lifelong wish. Even though you knew he didn't love you that much, you still turned a blind eye to everything. You said things like, once we got married, it would be fine. After marriage, he would settle down. I instantly felt speechless, wishing I could slap myself twice. Had all the men in the world died? Why did I have to act out some deep love drama over a scumbag like this? Then how did I get into the car accident? You ran crying from the wedding venue to the street, and as soon as you went out, you were hit by a car. I was even more speechless. Was this the plot of a novel? How could it be this melodramatic? I, the female lead, was actually this useless? Her eyes were full of sympathy as she looked at me. As we were talking, a handsome man in a suit suddenly appeared at the door of the ward. He was tall and straight, looking exactly like the male lead of an idol drama. Could my fiancé be him? Putting everything else aside, I was very satisfied with that face and figure. But the moment he opened his mouth, my fantasy shattered. He said, "Hello, my name is Pablo. My car hit you. I'm willing to take full responsibility. I will cover all your medical expenses and also hire a caregiver to look after you until you're discharged. As for compensation, name your price." Thinking of my fiancé who had run off with the other woman, I suddenly felt a desire for revenge, so I hardened my heart and asked, "Are you single?" He nodded with a suspicious look. Good, then I don't want compensation, and I don't want a caregiver. I want you to be my boyfriend. He laughed, looking at me as if I were an idiot. Do you know who I am? I don't care who you are. I tried my best to appear arrogant. This car accident was caused by you. I can absolutely call the police and have you arrested, since you were the one who took the initiative to ask for a settlement. I get to set the conditions. You were clearly the one who ran into. He looked at me with interest and suddenly changed his words. Fine, I agree. Then should we exchange contact information? If something comes up, I'll contact you myself. If nothing comes up, you don't need to appear. He curved his lips into a smile. Okay. After he left, Amelia's eyes widened, holding her phone and looking at the information on an online encyclopedia. She said, I knew the name Pablo sounded familiar, so he's that big shot on our city's rich list. They say he has connections in both the legal and underground worlds. Lisa, are you really going to be okay after provoking him? I felt a little uneasy. It should be fine, right? This was his fault to begin with. Besides, I did not really want him to be my boyfriend. I only thought he had a good face, a good figure, and an absolutely outstanding presence. I just wanted to use him to win back the dignity I had lost in front of my fiancé. That probably was not too much, right? Just as I was thinking this, a man suddenly appeared at the ward door. He was also tall and handsome, but compared with Pablo, he looked slightly more haggard. If I guessed correctly, he should be my fiancé, Eric. But it was strange, although I did not remember everything between us. Looking at his face still gave me a physiological disgust. It was obvious how deeply he had hurt me in the past. Naturally, there was no need for me to treat him nicely. When he saw me, his face was full of impatience. Lisa, I really underestimated you. I didn't expect you to be this good at making trouble. Even buying off the doctors to deceive me. Looks like Selena was right. You really are good at pretending. I just don't understand. Do you love me that much? Are all the men in the world dead? Chapter 04. I admit it, he disgusted me, and I really could not tolerate it at all. Come here, closer. I curled my finger at him. He thought I wanted to whisper something to him and bent down close to me. I found the right angle, used all my strength, and raised my hand to give him a loud slap. You, what are you doing? He was stunned from the slap. Isn't it obvious? I'm hitting you. What you just said disgusted me. Anyway, you already know I'm quite good at pretending. I have many different sides. I smiled sweetly at him. Congratulations. The role you've unlocked now is Psycho. He was furious and speechless for a long time. After a while, he surrendered and said, Lisa, I know you're angry at me because of Selena, but I had no choice. I had my difficulties. Her condition is getting worse and worse. I can't just watch her die, can I? Now, she's forcing me to be with her. Can we temporarily break off the engagement first? After all, saving one life is better than building a 7-story pagoda. Don't worry, it's only temporary. Once her condition stabilizes, I'll make up another wedding to you. What you wanted from beginning to end was to become my wife, wasn't it? He looked at me guiltily, observing my reaction, but I had no reaction at all. I was merely shocked by his confidence and shamelessness. So he simply continued, I'll give you 10 million as compensation. That should be fine, right? But you have to publicly say that you fell in love with someone else first, and that the broken engagement has nothing to do with me. You know too, I can't have negative press. It will affect the company's stock price. The company is also your hard work. You don't want to watch anything happen to it either, right? The moment I heard 10 million, my eyes immediately lit up. Too lazy to waste any more words on him, I blurted out directly, okay, deal. Don't be so resistant. After all, what did you say? I said okay. You agreed? He looked at me in disbelief. Didn't you say that you would rather die than break off the engagement, and that you would marry no one but me in this life? Huh? Did I say that? But mister, you are clearly not my type. Just based on that greasy act earlier, there is no way I would like you. All right? It seemed that he still did not know I had lost my memory. At this moment, my memories had stopped at 18, and I had no idea who he was. No matter who he was, the fact that he showed no concern when I woke up after the car accident and immediately came to break off the engagement with me for the sake of his mistress proved that he had no feelings for me at all. A man like that could not be married, no matter how rich he was. I had lost my memory, but I was not stupid, so I cleared my throat and hurriedly urged him. You're already breaking off the engagement with me. What does it matter whether I would marry no one but you? While I haven't changed my mind yet. Hurry up and transfer the money. If you keep dawdling, I'm going to raise the price. Fine, you've gotten capable. Let's see how long you can keep pretending. I swiftly signed the agreement he handed over. The next second, I drove him out. Amelia sincerely sighed in admiration. Amazing. Girl, after losing your memory, not only did you finally grow a mouth, but your strength also got pretty impressive. If you had been like this earlier, would you have had to suffer so much humiliation? Sigh. Wasn't that the truth? Fortunately, it was not too late now. My memories were gone, but my intelligence was still there. According to Amelia's account, I had education, ability, looks, and a good figure. Why should I suffer for a man? There were plenty of men. If one did not work, I could just change him. Destroying myself from the inside was completely unnecessary. Chapter 05. Not long after I returned from the hospital, Eric accepted a reporter's interview. In front of the camera, he looked haggard and said that the girl who had appeared at the wedding was only a crazed pursuer of his. He had originally felt guilty toward his fiancée because of this matter. Unexpectedly, his fiancée had already fallen in love with someone else. He said, "This was originally just our private matter, and there was no need to speak about it in public. But as a man, no matter what she does, I have a responsibility to protect her. After all, I truly love her. I hope everyone can give us a little more time. As for the engagement, for now, I will respect her wishes and cancel it. Whether we get back together in the future will depend on fate." After saying that, he bowed sincerely to the public and apologized. As a result, that very day, I was hung up on the trending searches. News about the group president being cheated on quickly spread online. The more sympathy the uninformed spectators had for him, the more hatred they had for me, the so-called fickle woman. Looking at all those insults, I felt no waves in my heart. Looking at the 10 million in my account, however, put me in a pleasant mood. During the period that followed, Eric called me a few more times. It was probably to persuade me not to be angry and to take care of my health. He also repeatedly reminded me that there was no need for me to force myself, and if I could not bear to part with him, I could say so directly. I had no idea where he got that confidence. How could I possibly like him? My taste could not be that bad, so I directly dragged him into my blacklist. As my discharge date approached, I received a call from an unfamiliar woman. She said that my father had late-stage esophageal cancer and wanted to see me one last time. According to Amelia, my father and I had barely kept in contact over the years. He only regularly sent me money. On top of that, when he was young, he abandoned my mother and me for another woman. I had long since lost feelings for him. The only memories I had of him were from when I was in school and periodically went to ask him for money. Every time, he was extremely annoyed and cursed that I was a debt collector who would affect his fortune. Several times, I was beaten and chased out. Since that was the case, whether he was dead or alive now really had little to do with me. But the woman said, "Over the years, your father's business has grown very large. He has always felt that he owed you. When dividing the inheritance, he will favor you." Huh? There was money to take? Then I could go over once. Who would say no to money? What was absurd was that on the day I was discharged, I actually ran into Eric. He was accompanying Selena for a prenatal checkup. Selena was pregnant? I could not help sneering inwardly. So this was what he meant by sympathizing with her, pitying her, and simply wanting to save her? If he were not truly madly in love with her, how could things have developed so quickly? On one hand, he was being tender and affectionate with another woman. On the other, he was waiting for me to go back and finish the wedding. Eric really knew how to play around. Fortunately, right now, I could not remember the little details of loving him. So naturally, I would not waste any emotion on him. I only felt a little emotional and thought that my past self had not been worth it. Just then, my phone suddenly rang. The caller ID showed Bruno. Who was this? Chapter 06. Lisa, I finally got in touch with you. Where have you been all this time? Since you've been gone, the company has practically fallen into chaos. Ever since Eric made such a scene at the wedding, the group's reputation has gotten worse and worse. Several suppliers have stopped cooperating, and major clients are being lost every day. If this nonsense continues, the company will be finished. I quickly captured the key information in his words and immediately understood my pivotal position in the company. But that should not be right. After Eric's previous statement was released, hadn't many people sympathized with him and cursed me? Bruno soon answered my confusion. What outsiders think doesn't matter. What matters is that everyone in the company believes in your character. Besides, many clients only cooperated because of you. The decision-making power isn't actually with Eric. Since that was the case, things were easy, so I blurted out. Then let it go bankrupt. What? I said. Then let the company go bankrupt. I repeated it again and, while I was at it, advised him. Don't worry about it either. Bruno, listen to me. Hurry up and run. With Eric's character, he can't succeed at anything. Remember to tell the others in the company too. If you're going to run, everyone should run together. The earlier you run, the earlier you're reborn. Lisa, what kind of joke are you making? The company is your years of hard work. How could you bear to? He seemed unable to believe that the person answering the phone was me. Enough. I'm hanging up first. So what if it was my hard work? The company did not carry my surname, no matter how much money it earned. What did it have to do with me? In the past, I had probably worked without complaint because I considered myself Mrs. Eric. Now, I felt annoyed just looking at Eric. Why would I still be willing to be connected to him? Suddenly, inspiration struck me. Since everyone in the company listened to me, why shouldn't I hollow out the company and start another one myself? Wouldn't it be better if the company followed my surname? Chapter 07. In the end, I did not manage to see my father one last time. By the time I arrived, he had already stopped breathing. No matter how one put it, I should have felt sad at this moment. Unfortunately, my heart felt no waves at all. It was as if, to me, he was only an insignificant stranger. Unexpectedly, I saw Pablo at my father's funeral. Why was he here? Could he have known my father? Just as I was wondering, he slowly walked toward me. His well-tailored black trench coat made his legs look even longer and his presence even better. Only, compared with the last time we met, he seemed somewhat tired. When he saw me, he did not appear surprised. In a businesslike manner, he said, "Miss Lisa, my condolences." I politely nodded to him and asked, "Did you know my father?" "Yes, I knew him many years ago." "Was it through business dealings?" "Or, you could say that." The woman on the phone last time had said that my father's business had grown quite large over the years, so it was not strange for him to have business dealings with Pablo's family. But the world was far too small, wasn't it? Pablo's car just happened to hit me, and he also happened to know my father. What are you thinking about? Nothing. My thoughts were pulled back, and I stood there a little awkwardly. Miss Lisa, rest assured, although your father suffered quite a bit while he was ill, he passed peacefully enough. He died in his sleep. Thank you for telling me this, I said honestly, but I don't really care. He and I rarely kept in touch. He tactfully changed the topic and took the initiative to invite me to dinner. I agreed. Not only did I agree, I also dragged him into taking a photo with me, just in case I needed it later. After all, right now, I needed a boyfriend to prove that I had fallen in love with someone else, and that breaking off the engagement had nothing to do with Eric. If we were going to act, we had to complete the full performance. Since I had taken someone's money, naturally, I had to get things done. As a result, that very night, the matter of me having dinner with Pablo was posted online. After Eric found out, he contacted me immediately, but from beginning to end, I did not reply with a single word. In my heart, we had long since had nothing to do with each other. Not long after attending the funeral, I received the enormous inheritance my father had left me. I immediately began planning how to make Eric finished. Unexpectedly, before I even saw Eric, his mother came looking for me first. Lisa, I came to apologize to you on Eric's behalf. All these years, how well you treated him and our family. I saw all of it. In my heart, I only recognize you as my daughter-in-law. But now, she hesitated. I encouraged her. Auntie, you might as well speak directly. Now, Selena is pregnant. I was extremely confused. What does that have to do with me? What I want to ask, she continued, is whether you can accept her child. I won't let her marry Eric as long as I'm alive. She can forget about ever entering our family. Lisa, you and Eric have an engagement. If she hadn't come to the wedding and caused such a scene last time, you would already be our family's daughter-in-law. Look at things now. Auntie, I could not listen anymore. I already made myself very clear to you before. Eric and I have broken up. The engagement no longer counts. I am very grateful that you like me, but there is absolutely no room for discussion on this matter. Lisa, the child is innocent after all. Are you really this heartless? Amelia once said that Eric's mother had treated me like her own daughter. Looking at it now, that did not seem to be the case. What kind of mother would force her own daughter to accept the child of the other woman? It was simply laughable. In the past, she valued me probably because I was useful. After all, I had managed their family company in perfect order. Now that her son had a child with the other woman, she immediately chose the child. As for me, so what if I had to be sacrificed? Thinking of this, I did not want to waste another word with her. I only wanted to draw a clear line as soon as possible. I call you auntie out of respect for the fact that you treated me fairly well over the years. But since you made such a request today, it means our affection has come to an end. From now on, there is no need to contact me again, and there is also no need to tell me anything about your son. Chapter 08. No wonder Eric's mother once said I had a head for business. No wonder Bruno said the company could not function without me. It seemed that all of this was true. I was indeed very interested in doing business. In a short period of time, I mastered the existing network of contacts and resources, figured out the company's operating model, rented an office, and began working with great momentum. After a portion of the backbone staff from Eric's family company resigned, they directly followed me to start over. In addition, we hired a group of new employees. The company soon began making a profit. During this period, someone saved in my WhatsApp as temporary boyfriend sent me a message. Miss Lisa, flirting with me and then running away. Isn't that a little rude? You were absent-minded during our last dinner too. Are you using me as a tool? Huh? Who was this? My memories returned to the day of the car accident, and 3 words flashed through my mind. Pablo. Oh, right. His car had hit me. At the time, I did not ask for compensation and declared that I wanted him to be my boyfriend. But now I did not need a boyfriend. I only wanted to make money. Was it still in time to regret it and ask him for compensation instead? Whatever. I would try first. Sorry, sir. When I asked you to be my boyfriend back then, I only wanted to use you to anger the fiancé who ran off with the mistress at our wedding. Now I don't need that anymore. Shall we break up? If you really feel bad about it, compensation is fine too. I'm not asking for much. 100,000 will do. After the messages were sent, he did not reply. As a result, half an hour later, he appeared at the entrance of my company. So, Miss Lisa was using me from beginning to end? As long as you like it, anything is fine. He looked at me with interest and suddenly smiled. Lisa, actually, I knew you a long time ago. I really didn't expect that now. We would reunite in this way. I thought that at your father's funeral last time. You might at least remember something. I didn't expect that when it comes to memories about me. You have none at all. My curiosity had just been hooked, and I was waiting for him to continue speaking, when I saw someone who should not have appeared. Selena. What was she doing here? I'm pregnant. The child is Eric's. She got straight to the point. Make a statement yourself. Take the initiative to admit that you and Eric have already broken off the engagement, that you have had nothing to do with him for a long time, and that there will never be any possibility of getting back together. Miss Lisa, I admit that making a scene at your wedding was my fault, but didn't I also save you? Even if you married him, so what? His heart was never with you. Oh, I understood. As long as I did not completely cut ties with Eric, she would have to carry the label of a crazed pursuer. Then when her child was born in the future, people would inevitably suspect that the child was Eric's illegitimate child without a proper name. For a mother, that should feel terrible. It was understandable that she came to force me to give up my place, but I refused to let her get what she wanted. Oh, really? I provoked her. How do you know his heart isn't with me? If you were truly certain, you wouldn't have come looking for me today. You came to me simply because Eric and his mother both refused to let you enter his family, right? After all, you're not presentable enough. It seemed I had hit the mark. Her expression became very ugly, and the look she gave me gained a few traces of cruelty. Lisa, don't get smug too early, she threatened. I have plenty of ways to make Eric hate you, and plenty of ways to make Eric's mother hate you from now on. I let out a scoff. Fine, then go ahead and bring it on. As soon as my words fell, she suddenly grabbed my hand and placed it on her shoulder. The next second, she rolled down the stairs. Immediately afterward, a sharp scream tore through the air. I saw her white dress instantly turn bright red. Was this killing 1,000 enemies while losing 800 of her own? This woman was truly ruthless enough. Fortunately, I had known early on that she had come with bad intentions, so I had recorded the audio in advance. After the ambulance arrived, I followed them to the hospital and waited to watch her next performance. My temporary boyfriend Pablo followed along too. He said that, anyway, he had nothing else to do. Chapter 09. Sure enough, after she woke up in the hospital, she immediately began acting. Lisa, I know you hate me for ruining your wedding, and hate me for stealing Eric away from you, but my child is innocent. No matter how much you can't tolerate me, you can't lay a hand on the child in my belly. As she spoke, she began sobbing pitifully. Lisa, Eric looked at me with eyes full of pain and disappointment. I thought that if I left you alone for a while, you would calm down, lower your head, and apologize to me. Perhaps then I would even be merciful enough to make up another wedding to you. I didn't expect you to be this ungrateful. You just had to block your own path. How strange. He was clearly speaking English, but when the words were put together, I could not understand a single sentence. Hadn't we broken up long ago? How could he think we were in a cold war? How could he think I would still rush forward to become his wife? Was the 10 million not transferred to me by him? Was he not the one who begged me to break off the engagement? How pathetic must my past self have been in front of him to spoil him into being this shameless? He said whatever he wanted. All the rules were set by him. What exactly did he take me for? Just as I was about to refute him, his mother suddenly spoke. Lisa, is what Selena said true? Did you really push her down? How can your heart be so vicious? Even if you were jealous of her, there was no need to use this kind of method. I already told you that day. I won't agree to let her enter our family. After the child is born, you will still be the rightful Mrs. Eric. What else are you unsatisfied with? If you're willing, the child can even be raised under your name. I could no longer hold it in and burst out laughing. This mother and son were truly something else. No wonder people said like mother, like son, with a mother like her. It was not strange for Eric to be so confident. But at this point, there was no meaning in arguing anymore. I truly did not need to waste more words with them and lower my own level. So I turned to Selena on the hospital bed and asked, "Are you certain that I pushed you down the stairs? Are you certain that I wanted to hurt you and the child in your belly? Otherwise, did I push myself?" Good, very good. After saying that, I picked up my phone and called the police, saying that someone had framed me. I wanted to sue her for defamation. Chapter 10. When I handed that recording to the police, Selena fell completely silent, but I firmly refused to withdraw the lawsuit. I was determined to make her pay the price she deserved. Eric also soon learned that Selena's child could not have been saved in the first place. Long before she came to find me, the doctor had already informed her that the fetus had stopped developing. That was why she deliberately came to me, wanting to pin the loss of the child on me. That way, Eric would hate me and feel guilty toward her. Eric's mother would also hate me. After all, I would have harmed her biological grandson. With me, the obstacle gone. When Selena could marry into Eric's family would only be a matter of time. I had to admit, she had thought things through quite thoroughly. But she never expected that I would predict her prediction. I had lost my memory, not my brain. Ever since I sorted out the relationships between everyone, I had already become wary of her. I would not harm others, but I would not let others harm me for nothing either. After this incident, Eric completely despised her. Then he turned around and came to pester me. Who was the person who appeared with you at the hospital that day? You even had dinner with him? The moment he opened his mouth, he was aggressive. Lisa, Have you forgotten your identity? I truly did not understand. What identity? After everything that had happened, he could not still think I was his fiancé. Could he? This man was truly insane. Before I could speak, Pablo answered him for me. I'm her boyfriend. Boyfriend? You too. Yes. We're together. We have been for a long time. He emphasized for a long time. And Eric instantly broke down. Lisa, there should be a limit to making a scene. I admit it was my fault for leaving you at the wedding. And I admit I shouldn't have been entangled with Selena. But she has depression. And the doctor said she might take her own life at any time. I only wanted to save her. Do you not even have that little bit of sympathy? Was it necessary to casually find a man to take revenge on me? As for what I said at the hospital last time about giving you 10 million as compensation, that was only a temporary measure. What I said from beginning to end was that we would temporarily break off the engagement. I never thought of truly not marrying you. Can you stop making trouble? No. I was so angry I laughed. You saved her all the way into bed. You saved her until she got pregnant. Do you still have any shame? Also, stop using depression as an excuse all the time. That insults people who truly suffer from depression. She's clearly just cheap. It has nothing to do with whether she has depression or not. As for the engagement, broken off means broken off. There is no temporary or permanent. Stop playing with abstract nonsense. If people didn't know better, they'd think you had dissociative identity disorder. But we were together for a full 8 years. He argued stubbornly. For these 8 years, your biggest dream was to marry me. I don't believe you can just let go because you say so. Believe whatever you want. I remembered how, when I had just woken up in the hospital, he had given me 10 million, so I added. I might as well tell you, back then, you gave me 10 million to say publicly that I had fallen in love with someone else. Actually, you didn't need to give it, because I really did fall in love with someone else. After saying that, I pulled Pablo away. Without any explanation, Eric chased after us, wanting to ask me clearly, but Pablo knocked him to the ground with one punch. Can't you understand human language? She has had nothing to do with you for a long time. If you keep pestering her like this, I'll make sure you die miserably. I had to admit, Pablo was truly suitable to use as a boyfriend. He was handsome and extremely rich. Most importantly, he was very perceptive. When something happened, he really stepped up. And his acting was excellent. With him by my side, I did feel much safer. At least when Eric came to harass me again, someone could block him for a while. Even my best friend Amelia said that this was a blessing in disguise. Taking 10,000 steps back. If an absolute top-tier man like Pablo really becomes your boyfriend, then getting hit by his car back then was actually pretty cost-effective. I was speechless. Have you forgotten how long I lay in that hospital bed? Whether he is my boyfriend or not, sooner or later, this debt still has to be settled. But for now, I had no time. I was busy making money. Chapter 11. After the company got on the right track, I became busy looking for new suppliers, traveling between factories every day. At the same time, I had to develop new clients through all kinds of channels, keeping myself extremely busy and fulfilled. Compared with romance and love, this kind of life spent building a career seemed more suitable for me. I had known from the beginning that if I could make Eric's family company unable to function without me, then naturally, I could also run my own company vividly and successfully. It was just that back then, I had been too love-brained and had never thought of this layer. Otherwise, I would have been a rich woman long ago. Sure enough, men only delayed women from making money. Completely useless. After I had completely thrown Eric to the back of my mind, he actually began pestering me relentlessly. He firmly believed that I had only lost my memory and had forgotten how much I loved him. Once I remembered, I would insist on marrying no one but him. I could not be bothered with him and directly warned him. If you keep pestering me like this, I can only call the police. He did not listen at all, but the more he acted like this, the more unwilling Selena became after being played with and then cruelly abandoned by him. She transferred all her hatred onto me alone. When I went to meet a client by myself, she rushed toward me like a madwoman, and just like that, I was hospitalized again because of a car accident. Unlike the last time when Pablo hit me, Selena had intentionally harmed me this time. Between the police station and a psychiatric hospital, I had to send her into at least one of them. This time, she could not escape at all. However, this car accident unexpectedly brought me something else. The memories I had lost came back. I remembered how Eric and I had fallen in love, how I had single-handedly propped up his family's business, how he had been entangled with Selena, and all the hurt and betrayal he had given me. When these memories surged toward me like a tide, I felt a suffocating sense of near despair. Indeed, Eric was the person I had dreamed of marrying since I was 18, and just as I had wished, after 8 years of dating, he held a grand wedding for me right on schedule. Unfortunately, the female student he sponsored, Selena, appeared at the wedding venue in a wedding dress and personally drew a full stop to our 8 years of love. In truth, this was not the first time Selena had inserted herself between us. Eric and I had been in love for 8 years. She had pestered him for 8 years. Eric was utterly disgusted with her and had said in front of me more than once that he had never seen a woman as shameless as her. He said that even if there were no women left in the entire world, he would never look at her. At first, I believed him. After all, Selena could never be considered beautiful. She could not possibly be Eric's type either. But at some unknown point, Eric's attitude toward her gradually changed. He would intentionally or unintentionally sigh about how pitiful she was. Selena is often abused by her adoptive parents. She said that when she was in middle school, her adoptive father nearly raped her. She said that without my sponsorship, she never could have gone to university. She said I was her benefactor and wished she could repay me with herself. Later, I found that he had pinned her WhatsApp chat to the top, and their conversations became more and more frequent. Every time I asked him, he would say, "I just pity her," or he would say, "I only see her as a younger sister," or he would turn around and blame me instead. "Lisa, don't tell me you're even jealous of her? That's far too unreasonable." I was utterly exhausted, but when he proposed, I still nodded and agreed. After all, he was someone I had loved for so many years. There really would be a filter. I did not expect that he would turn all my years of effort into a joke. If, before recovering my memories, my hatred for him had only been superficial, then after my memories returned, that hatred became concrete. It sank deep into my bones, and even breathing carried a burning pain. Disgusting, terrifying. For the past 8 years, I had truly lived in such a lowly way. Chapter 12. Eric seemed to have finally realized his mistake. Or perhaps he had finally realized his love for me. In any case, after finding out that my memories had returned, he shamelessly held up a ring and proposed to me again. Not only that, he also took the initiative to clarify to the media everything that had happened at the wedding that day. He said that he had failed to properly maintain boundaries and distance with the opposite sex. He said Selena had a mental illness. He said that in order to save a life, he had no choice but to temporarily stop the wedding. He said that for all these years, she had been the one standing between us, challenging his bottom line again and again, causing his fiancée, meaning me, to misunderstand him repeatedly. He also said that he and I had gone from school uniforms to a wedding dress, and that our love was stronger than gold. The person he had wanted to marry from beginning to end had only been me. As for publicly saying back then that I had fallen in love with someone else, that was only a misunderstanding, and for that, he sincerely apologized to me. For a time, the media outlets he had bought off reported heavily on him. His image as a CEO who dared to take responsibility and correct his mistakes after realizing them was thoroughly established. So riding on this popularity, he played the public proposal card again. Under the eyes of the crowd, he held up the ring, knelt on one knee, and asked whether I could forgive him and marry him. I did not answer a single word. I directly took out my phone and called the police, saying that I was being harassed. When he was forcibly dragged away by the police, everyone at the scene was stunned. The deeply affectionate persona he had spent a fortune creating turned into a joke in a short amount of time. Late-coming affection is cheaper than grass. I did not care for it at all. Besides, what he had was not deep affection at all. He was merely born loving to act. When Selena was around, he enjoyed her admiration and felt that he, as a man, was especially charming. For her, he did not hesitate to neglect me, ignore me, and betray me. Later, when I woke up and left, He began chasing me in return. He had never loved Selena. Toward her, he only had use. And he had never loved me either. Toward me, he only had a pathological possessiveness. A man like this disgusted me with a single glance, let alone becoming my partner. Later, I simply went all the way and exposed everything about him cheating with Selena during our relationship, including but not limited to the 10 million he transferred to me as hush money, Selena's pregnancy, and a large number of recordings and videos. At this point, his persona completely collapsed. No matter how much money he spent, no matter how many paid trolls he hired, it could no longer be saved. Not long after, Eric's company faced bankruptcy and was left with many external debts. Eric's mother had already had a bad heart. After learning this news, she fell seriously ill and never got back up again. During that time, she came looking for me countless times, but I would not even see her. I had once thought we could become family. I had once treated her like my own mother. But what was the result? In the face of benefit, the selfishness and shamelessness of human nature were completely exposed. To this day, we have nothing to do with each other anymore. Only, I had always thought that Eric's family company collapsing was inevitable. After all, Eric's mind had never been on work, and he did not have a head for business. I did not expect there to actually be an external force involved. Because Pablo said to me, "Do you like this gift I gave you?" I was somewhat confused. Actually, he did not need to do this. Through my own efforts, I would have been enough to bring Eric down. After all, the truth was in my hands. No matter how hard Eric tried to reverse black and white, sooner or later, he would be exposed. Who would have thought that Pablo would say, "Don't you think my presence in this whole story has been rather low? If I didn't do something, it would be as if I didn't exist. Just take it as me trying hard to get your attention. It's your business that you can handle it yourself. It's my business that I want to help you." I laughed at his strange train of thought. This was a story related to me in the first place. You're only a supporting male character, whether you existed or not. I still wouldn't forgive him, and I would still rely on my own strength to defeat him. That is the price he should pay. You're still as strong-willed as before. Before? Do you still remember that I said I had known you a long time ago? According to his memories, when I was in middle school, I once went to my father's company to ask him for money. I said that grandma was critically ill, and if he ignored us, I would sue him. Pablo was there at the scene. He was a few years older than me. After graduating from university, he had taken over his family business. He had gone to my father's company to discuss cooperation. Unexpectedly, he had run into me. He said, "I had never seen such a stubborn person before. You had a kind of resilience that people your age didn't have. Back then, I knew that you would become a very impressive person in the future. No worse than your father. Of course, he was only a scumbag who abandoned his wife and daughter and was both disloyal and unfilial." At this point, we laughed together. This was the first time I believed in fate. It turned out that many years ago, we had already met. And after going around in circles, we had reunited once again. Later, for some inexplicable reason, he transferred 1 million to me, saying it was compensation for me. My heart startled. Could he be trying to draw a clear line between us? After all, back then I had said that I no longer wanted him to be my boyfriend, then casually asked for 100,000 as compensation. I had not expected him to remember all along, and even multiply it by 10 for me. Just as I was feeling disheartened, he said, "This is what I owe you. Hitting you and injuring you was my fault in the first place. If you insist on overthinking, then just take it as a bride price." I hurriedly denied it. "I'm not overthinking it. I don't want to get married." I still had not made enough money. It was impossible for me to fall into a man's hands again. Chapter 13. Later, I was busy expanding the scale of my company. As for Eric's matters, I only heard about them from others. According to the information Amelia gathered, after Eric's company went bankrupt, he went to Africa alone. There, he encountered riots, and to this day, whether he is dead or alive remains unknown. After his mother learned about it, she suddenly suffered a heart attack and passed away not long after. As for Selena, her mental illness worsened further. In the end, treatment proved ineffective, and she could only be locked away in a psychiatric hospital. Even now, She still occasionally mutters, "Lisa, go die. Don't even think about stealing Eric from me. He's mine, mine." By the time I heard these things, my heart no longer felt any ripples. In the end, they were only passers-by in my life. As for Eric, I did not regret loving him. If any fragment of my life were deleted, I would not have become the person I am today. I remembered that many years ago, I once read a passage in a book. Most women spend their lives proving two things. One is proving that they are beautiful, and the other is proving that they are worthy of being loved. Only a few people wake up early and stop seeking recognition from others. They understand that compared with proving oneself, self-love is the true lesson one must complete in this lifetime. Yes, in this life, who I meet, who loves me, and who hurts me are actually not important. What truly matters is whether I can find a better version of myself through these encounters, and then fall in love with myself. I am very fortunate that I understood this. No matter who is with me, they will gain joy and happiness, peace and contentment. No matter who misses me, it will be his loss and regret. What mistake did Eric make? Missing me was simply his bad luck. As for whether Pablo's luck is good or not, that depends on his performance from now on.